Hey guys, it's Kate. In this speed build, I'm building a base game only home. Some people requested if I could do a base game only home, so I thought it could be fun and challenging, and this is exactly how it went. It was very entertaining to build this house, and I enjoyed the process, but it was also very challenging. The last time I built a base game only home was probably right when The Sims 4 were released, until they released the first pack. So it's been a few years now. And it was very interesting to see what you can do with the stuff that the game offers by default. I tried to approach this build creatively, so I added some very unique details that make this build special, yet very traditional and classy. I was going for a traditional American home. It's probably a upper middle class home or mansion. I'm used to building very huge houses, so every time I say that this is a cute little house, people are like, no, that's a mansion. So probably it's the same this time. It's not that I'm disconnected from reality or something. I know what suburbia looks like, but when it comes to this game, I'm so used to making massive builds that I think my perception is a little warped. So yeah, this is a big house for a big family. It includes 3 bedrooms, 2 kids' rooms, and 1 master bedroom. Also 2 bathrooms. So a perfect place for a family. I mean, it looks like a classic family home on the outside. So I also wanted to include enough bedrooms so you can have 2 kids or maybe 4 if you put 2 of them in each room. So it's functional and an actual family home, not only on the outside but also on the inside. Here I'm using chimneys and gravestones to create custom columns. As I said, I wanted to add little creative details that make the build unique, even though it's just a base game build. So here you can see how I made these columns. I added some flowers, not only because flowers are beautiful, but also to hide the base, because as you see, I'm elevating the gravestones, so I'm just hiding the fact that they are floating. And here I'm adding some arches. These are actually wall decorations, but I sized them up and I added them to the basement. This way the base is hidden and the path is not blocked for Sims. They can actually use them, so technically they are doorways, even though they are not. And I think that this is also another little detail that makes the build a bit more special and unique. I also love that there's almost like a gate area at the front, so your Sims go up the stairs and they enter this little room and then they enter the front door. And here I'm building a garage. I think that it's a nice little detail that always fits to a classic family home. You can't go wrong there. And as you see, even though I'm using a foundation, the garage itself is ground level. And I did this by using a doorway that I again added to the basement, just the same way I did with the arches. And then I added some windows. And when you are using the cheat bb.show hidden objects, you can enter the debug objects. And there is a painting, a unfinished painting. It's basically just a piece of paper, and you can add it to the wall, and this way you're hiding the foundation. I just want to give a quick explanation so you people know how I did that, but I'm also going to release a tutorial in the next days, or maybe even tomorrow, so you guys can see how it's done, and I'm going to explain you everything step by step. Here I'm just adding some rocks to create a little patch. I think that flowers and trees just make a build like this perfect. You just need some kind of flowers to make it look like a beautiful, perfect family home. It's just a must for a build like this to me. I used yellow flowers on the outside, and I also carried on the seam at the bottom and added some yellow flowers. And here I'm sizing up a decoration car. It's just a small little toy car or something that you would put on the shelf, but I sized it up and put it in front of the garage. As you are going to see, I simply used the garage as a little home gym area. And here I'm using more paper to fill in the top area of the arch. I used the same paper that I used for the garage. I think it's one of the special little details because technically it's impossible to just paint a certain round area of the wall in this game, but using paper creates the illusion that this is exactly what happened, where you're just using paper. I think it's a cool way. It's sad that we only have white paper. I imagine we would have a whole color palette going on there. Endless possibilities. But it's good. Red is a good neutral color that you can use technically any build. So if you would like to make something like this, it's yeah, a good way to make a build look unique. And here I'm using shelves that I'm scaling up. I added a lot of them above the windows and at the garage, just again to make it look unique. And here is a little patio area. I used a fence to make it look like a roof. Later on I'm also going to add some plants on top, so it looks like one of these roofs that you would use to have some vines on top. So I thought it would be a good idea to add some flowers on top. Here I'm working on the roof. I'm going to change up the roof in a few seconds because I wasn't happy, and later on I'm also going to add the facade a little bit, the color of the facade. I was not sure which color I was going for. I ended up using the same brown that you can see here, but I added some rock at the bottom so it just looks a bit more special. I don't like when a build just has one color mostly. I mean, it depends on the build, but I like to mix different materials and colors until I'm happy with how the build looks. Here I'm adding another arch, just the way I did on the front. I added this one at the back just so I can continue the theme that I used at the front at the back, so it looks like one cohesive building. Now when I think about it, if I would want to sum up the whole experience, I think it's just very inspiring to just see what you can do with just the basic stuff. And if you feel like you're stuck in a creative rut and if you just want to mix things up, I can really recommend it. It was fun, but I'm not gonna lie, I'm so looking forward to using some packs again next time. The whole process just made me look forward so much to creating another build and using packs, and just yeah, it honestly just made me appreciate all the stuff that we have gotten right now. I mean, we're always looking forward to the next pack, and so am I. I'm so excited. I don't know what the next one is going to be, but now I just now I'm back to appreciating what we got, honestly. And here I'm working on the interior. This is the garage area. As I said, I just added a home gym. I think it's a just a nice way to use a room like this. There's also a back door. Your Sims can enter the garage and enter the kitchen. I also placed the bins right at the back door, at the bottom of the tree that I placed in the front, so that it would be a good realistic place. It reminds me of American sitcoms when there's always a back door that you can use to enter the kitchen. I think that's a nice little detail. And again, I'm building a open American kitchen, a open concept. I love to do that in my builds. I think it's just so cool to have one living room, dining room, kitchen area. It's not only cool in real life in my opinion, but especially in this game, because when your Sims are hanging around in one area, they are interacting more and go over and watch TV and eat something. I think that's good. The interior was the most difficult part maybe, but also it's also simple because I'm always paying attention that I'm not using too many packs. But I mean, there's not much to choose from, but I did not have to worry about anything like this. I was just filtering and was just looking at all the base game stuff, and so it was difficult and easy at the same time. I decided to go with blue walls and very light brown floor because I think it looks friendly, and I didn't want to go hard on the dark colors because the whole outside is it's a dreamy, beautiful suburban family home, almost like something you would see in Desperate Housewives, and I wanted to carry on the very light and bright and happy theme on the inside. I'm just adding some decorations and some tables at the wall and ATV. It's a very simple, small home. I mean, not small, as I said, warp perception, but it's really just that. It's the living room area, dining room area, a kitchen, and a little nook, as you can see, with a fireplace. I built a chimney on the outside, as you saw in the beginning, by building rooms, coloring them, and then I'm scaling up a chimney and I place it on top. And when I do that, I make sure that I'm placing the actual fireplace on the inside right at this chimney, so it's realistic. And I did that in the living room, in the little reading fireplace nook, and also at the top where I'm going to build an office. This is the first bathroom. It's always good to have a bathroom right at the hallway, right in the entrance area. And because the house is not huge, it's also connected right to the living room technically, so your Sims don't have to walk too far. No one likes that when a house is too complicated and your Sims have to walk too far. One kid's room, as you will see now, is bigger than the other one, and this is why I designed one of them like a nursery. You could also simply remove the little crib, so it's just a normal kids room, but I thought it would be a nice little detail to have a nursery. The biggest difference between this build and all my other builds is probably that I'm not going crazy with the landscaping here. I love to do that. I love to scale up rocks so I can connect different stories. I love to create mountains and all that kind of stuff. I did not do any of this here. It's a very simple traditional home. And this is what made it very exciting. I mean, actually, this is an average home, so it's not really special, but to me it is, because I'm used to build completely different builds. I try to mix things up here. I'm just building what I love to build, and I try to have the best of two worlds here. Very crazy, huge villages, very traditional homes, community lots. So if you're here for the crazy stuff, I promise you there will be some of that in the future. I just love to mix things up so it's not too boring for me and for you. So yeah, it's nice for a change to have this. The last residential lot was actually quite traditional as well, but not as traditional, and it wasn't a base game build. So it's it's extreme for me, I guess. Yeah. And people are constantly asking me how I approach building something, where I get my ideas from, just where I'm doing this. And my advice here is just build what makes you exciting. I love to start on an empty lot without the intention of actually building something. I just combine different ideas. It's like, imagine you want to draw something and you're just scribbling ideas that you will combine later, and this is what I love to do, especially for huge builds. I'm not doing this for every build, but I just love to combine ideas. So I may be just building in front of the facade, a tower, a patio, a garage, and then I'm combining things. I'm using different materials, bricks and wood, and different roofing, just different things, and I'm combining them. And then at some point, sometimes it's like, bro, I like that, that's a good idea, and then it just sparks my excitement, and I'm looking forward to actually building it and developing a build out of this. And then at this point, it's just so much fun, and it usually turns out to be a lovely build. And so what I'm trying to say is, just build what really makes you excited and what's fun. Just try to think outside the box, and you just have to feel like, yeah, this is going to be good. And it's so much fun building this, and this is what it all boils down to, in my opinion. I'm going to make some tutorials and also going to show how I'm approaching things, and just telling you some tips and tricks because people were requesting that. But I thought that I would just mention this. Really, I just go on an empty lot, combine your ideas and go crazy. And some people tell me that they are building a box with a roof on top, and I think if you're at this point, at this level, maybe just try to build a very simple but realistic home, something like this. I'm not saying that this is realistic, but a home with a garage and a patio and a realistic roofing, just a home with more details. And if you've already reached that point, maybe move on to different architectural styles, maybe build a Tudor house or a craftsman home, stuff like this, and then just maybe throw some fantasy elements in. I love to do that. And yeah, just expand what you are building, expand what you would usually think is possible in that game, because honestly you can do so much more stuff in that game than most people think. And even I completely changed the way that I'm approaching a build. In the past I built very basic houses, and then I was like, great, you can put a shelf on the outside, you can use wall decoration as an arch, as a doorway, stuff like this. You can go crazy and utilize things in a completely different way. And realizing this and just going crazy on building and not having any boundaries is just what this was a game changer for me, I think. So yeah, this speed build is coming to an end again. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked the video, please like and subscribe. And I included some screenshots and floor plans, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.